Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tea and Tarot Day. I love that we are tuning in, tapping in live on December 1st. We are now in the last calendar month of the year. Santa and I are hanging out. This is a very, very old picture that I've had for many, many, many years. Bought it at Zehrs, Fairview Mall, back in the day. I'm excited because 2020. Hey, Emily, I'm so glad you're here. 2020, y'all. We are in the last month of 2020. And I just want to take a moment and remember what it felt like to begin 2020 and just the year itself seeming to be so profound to begin a year called 2020. And even I joined a mastermind for 2020 called 2020 Vision, right? Because we had these like big ideals of what would be possible in this year. And I really want to call you all up into a really powerful way to experience things, if you will. So, a lot of people have negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions about 2020, right? Like we hear a lot of complaining and a lot of negativity and a lot of downness and I'm gonna invite you guys to not be those people. Just as a like kick off here to tea with Tamara. I was at the pelvic massage last Thursday, and she's like, "Oh, COVID, this and that." I said, "You know what?" I said, "I'm actually really grateful for COVID." And she said, "What?" It was very unexpected to hear. I said, "You know, during this year, my business has doubled. I moved across country." And she's like, "Yeah, but masks." I said, "Do you want to know what I love about masks?" I said, "It really forces us to look in each other's eyes. It really, when you're out and you're talking to somebody, you can't distract yourself from anything else. You are forced to see the person that you're looking at in the most profoundly beautiful place. Their eyes, to me, the eyes are the window to who they are. And we have this incredible gift to see them in a way that we may have never seen them before." And she was like, "Oh, that's right." And as I'm doing this, I'm talking to her and I'm giving her one of the Tamara intense stares, that you get when I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Eye to eye there. And in that moment, there's like this kismic connection of, yeah, there's a power in finding gratitude in all things. And that's the sauce for today. That's just kind of like what wanted to come through. Is finding the gratitude in all things as being the catalyst for this month, for December, a month where things can be cray cray and a little bit like wah wah and pulled in many directions, and all our triggers could be activated, and yet the gratitude will hold the foundation for everything. So that was my Tamara rant. I think I just made that up. Tamara rant. That can be a new thing as well. Very excited. I see people asking for cards in the chat, which is amazing. Oh, look at all the lovely people here. Loving it. Loving it. Thank you. Thank you. So right now, if you've never come to tea with Tamara, Tea and Tarot before, all you have to do is put "I would like a reading." What that does is gives me permission to connect with you energetically. So in some form or way, whether it's spirit guidance coming through or I get a hit on what's going on in your energetic body, that is the consent that you are making with me to say like, "Hey, yes, I would like a reading," which means yes, you can energetically connect to me. So if you've never done that, just throw a card please up in the comments. We're going to do a quick container set. This is going to be a container that is a extension of yesterday's full moon ritual. The ancestors came so strongly yesterday for this full moon, this relationship communication moon, which we are on the tail end and we are like riding it like it's hot, like, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to really invite our ancestors into today's container to hold it for us, with us. And they're saying we don't even need to close our eyes for this today, that we just need to really envision those who have gone before, who had the stories that that we are starting to reconnect to. We're all getting this calling to rise in a new form, in a new way. And we have the stories of our ancestors within us, even if they're not in books, even if we don't have access to them. We have their knowing genetically, spiritually, energetically held within ourselves. And so their gift or their message today and yesterday have been like, it's time for you to hear us again. It's time for you to acknowledge us, use the intuition that we've offered you, bring yourself into these beautiful spaces of knowing and truth that we gifted you. Because just as much as we have the generational ancestral trauma, we also have their gifts within us. And so just feel our ancestors, coming in right now to create this beautiful, powerful, magnetic circle around us. The wise ones, the storytellers, the bards, the magicians, the witches, the healers, the lovers, they're all here. And they are like, yes, they're holding this container for us to rise. They know that this is a wave as we do like the just ebbs and flows. We're in a heightened wave of awakening and transformation. And so they're here to offer support. So allow them to come in and be part of this incredible circle that we are creating here today. All right, so I am going to begin doing the cards. Oh, I feel so good. I just love having the ancestors here. They've really been talking. I think this is all leading into the book that I'm starting middle of January, and all the connections and the work that's going into the creation of that. The story is already inside me, and it's like, and I'm like, okay. That's what writing a book feels like to me. It's like, once the message and the story, it feels like it's been like a year coming, and now it's like, all right, I'm ready. Can you write me? And I'm like, oh my God, almost. All right. I've got Cassidy. I've got Kelly. I've got JJ. Oh, that's your card, Cassidy. Yes. Yep. I love this card for you. So Cassidy, you got the lessons card, and the first thing that I felt or connected to when I saw this card come through for you was that there is a reprogramming of belief of like this true part for you to understand is that you can't do anything wrong. You can't do anything wrong. So any shaming or guilt or blame or thinking that you're not doing enough or doing well or like you could be doing better or any of those kinds of things are not serving you right now. And so to be willing to release and to forgive that story and know that you, like the message that they're actually saying is to connect in every single day and say, I'm doing my best today. And be so good with that. Like, I'm doing my best today. So releasing the not enough story, like I'm not doing enough, it's not enough, it's just like, to the, I literally fucking did my best today. What a good day. I did my best today. Today was a great day because I did my best today. And really claiming that and just beginning to nurture that within yourself. So that is your message, Cassidy. All right, Kelly Tadlock. Kelly Tadlock. You know, you guys, I just started Magical Mindset Mornings, which is a bonus for the Chakra Business Academy starting January 4th. And if you are interested in really coming to a place where every single day you are connecting in to allow spirit to create an image, to create form, which is a manifestation of reality, Magical Mindset Mornings is something I've never done. 33 days with me in the morning with my piercing stare. If you want more information, it's not too late to get the bonus. Send me a DM. I wasn't going to say anything, but Spirit was like, no. I think there's somebody on today's call that needs to hear that. So it's a really powerful group. And I'm really excited about what this next 33 days is going to look like prior to even doing Chakra Business Academy, which is also fucking a brilliant program, y'all. So it's like epic. What's happening? 33 days every morning. I'm in my pajamas, just so you know that it's like that level. All right, I am working with Kelly Tadlock. Yes. Kelly, you got fire. And the message that's coming through is it's time to release control and surrender to the process of just burning it all away. And this like level of rebirth. It's like, you know, when contractions start and we think it's really funny because we are like, oh, can I just take a break? Can I just pause? Like, is there not like a way to make this just suffer? I just want to have a tea break. Nothing, right? Like once contractions start, you're fucking in it and you can't stop it. And at the end, you get a baby and it's fucking great. And sometimes it can take 3 hours, 5 hours, 9 hours, but you know that you're rebirthing here, Kelly. Like this is the message. And it's time to just let the flames take over and go through you as fast as fucking possible. And so that's the message that I get is like, stop trying to control the contractions and just be like, yes, just fucking take me. And allow yourself to be in the image of the outcome of this surrender. So don't think about the work that's involved, but to see only what happens at the end of the birth, like who you are at the end of the birth, like everything about the end of it. That is your message today. All right, coming down. I'm just looking down to see everybody. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm in JJ. JJ. Michelle, Kathleen, Ananya, Lisa, Nichols, Tracy, Quintana. Those are in the queue. That was a big queue. So you probably won't remember where you are in that, but I'm just letting you know that I see your name. And it's going to be amazing. Woo! JJ, this card was like stop and it bent and it was like, this is my card. You got don't stop. A miracle is around the corner. And honestly, when I kind of sank into the energy of the card a little bit, it just, yeah, it feels like there's a heaviness or a disconnect from the passion, the joy, it just like fucking feels a little heavier than normal in this moment. So what they're literally saying is phone a friend. Like phone a friend. And really, JJ, the message that I'm getting for you too is it's like literally I can't feel you're connected to the passion. Like, and you, dude, are passion. Like you're fucking passion exoner, like whatever that word is. I want to say it, but I can't, so I'm not even gonna try. And so like how do you tap back into that passion? So I would even just sit today, JJ, and like write what passion means to you. What is passion? What does, you know, being in my passion or creating from my passion? And even as I'm like talking about this, I can feel this like sensation in your lower chakras, actually in your sacral, that feels really, really really good. But it's really, for me, it's not about why, it's not about this, it's not about that. It's like passion. Feels really resonant with your energy right now. And so tapping back into your passion will be the catalyst for getting through this little that may be going on right now. So that is your card for today. I feel like I'm on like speed dating. Card dating. So a funny story, funny not funny, is like it's incredible what we make of stories. And there was this once upon a time where I used to love shopping at the Gap. I used to buy my kids all the cute little Gap sweaters. Like I thought little Gap sweaters were the cutest thing. They look like big fuzzy little snowman. And then somewhere along the line, somebody made Gap wrong for me. Like they're like, the Gap is like, you know, these like so hippie, like hipster, blah, blah, blah. And I stopped shopping at the Gap because I was like, oh, I don't want to be that person. And lately I have a newfound love for the Gap. By the way, my husband found 4 pairs of pants and he can't find any pants. And I got this shirt from the Gap. Like, look at this shirt. I fucking walked in and I was like, I'm sorry that I have broken up with you, Gap. I am now back in love with you. Just a random story between card shuffles. But it's interesting how we can take what other people say and make it about us and our reality. And, you know, at what point do we just simply let it go and be like, that voice isn't mine. That reason isn't mine. That thought isn't mine. All right. actually, this is the reason why, because the next card is for Michelle, and I think I'd send it anonymous. Oh, Michelle. Next card is Michelle. There we go. Michelle, your card. You got peace, and what I heard is, I was flipping this card for you, Michelle, is stop trying to make things hard. Just stop trying to make things hard. It's interesting when we get to a place where if we've been under a lot of tension or we've had a lot of things going on in our life, and we remove ourselves from the experience, so we change our environment, and there's nothing at that level anymore, we tend to almost create the obstacles or the barriers or the things standing in our path. And so the message today, Michelle, is don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Stop looking for the obstacles that aren't there. That is your message for today. All right. Moving into Kathleen Black. Kathleen Black. Two-time author. It's done. It's done. I believe it's done. I'm assuming it's done because it was due at midnight yesterday. So, what do the cards have to say now? Kathleen Black. I like this card for you, obviously. Because you got fire as well, which is the transformation, rebirth, renewal. Obviously, for purposes you and I know, that's a very powerful card to receive as confirmation you're in the right place. And the message that's coming through to you, so the message that's coming through for you, Kathleen, is to, how do I put this? It's like it's surrender into the knowing that you're cared for, like that you don't have to keep it all together, that you don't have to stay in control all the time. This is very sacral related, very, very sacral related, which has to do with being seen, I think, as well for you a little bit, because you're stepping into a new level of being, of creating, of being seen, of being acknowledged, of being heard, of being in a different role, of all of these things. But there is a willingness that comes from you that the card is asking you, that is, surrender is not a dirty word. For anyone who is sitting here going, surrender. Surrender is not a dirty word. And we, I believe, have this ancestral trauma that surrender means that we're giving up. Surrender means that, if you're thinking, because they're showing me like back in the day where, countries were against each other or villages, surrender meant we gave up, that we just basically laid down and said, take whatever you want. And that's not what the surrender we're talking about now is. The surrender that we're talking about now is releasing those actual stories. It's about being willing to allow others in to support us more fully. And so that's the level of surrender that we talk about, right? Is that we soften to allow other forces, spiritual and human, to take the weight and the responsibility off of us. And so that's your card for today. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I have Ananya. Then I have Lisa Nichols, Tracy Quintana, Chris Bedrick, Celine, Cassidy, Emily. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. It's December 1st. Now, I have to say this because back in the day, December 1st was a holiday in my house. So this is the first year I'm not having a holiday in my house. My husband went to work and the kids aren't home from school, because it's always been a day that nobody goes to work, nobody goes to school. Talking really fast today. So when I was with my ex, my youngest son's father, he was the Grinch. Bah humbug. You can't listen to music or watch Christmas movies until December 1st. And the older version of me took that. You know what I mean? I tolerated being told those things. So I'm owning my part of that. But I became really fierce that, fine, if that's true, then December 1st is a holiday in my house. Nobody goes to school. Nobody goes to work. We watch Christmas movies all day and music all day. And it's a day, like it's a fucking day. My kids were supposed to be here, by the way, except for COVID, which is fine. But I'm acknowledging the the grief and also the celebration of today that I get to spend it with you guys, because that's part of me in sharing this story is inviting you into that with me. And so thank you for celebrating Christmas decorating day with me. And that makes me want to cry a little because I do love you guys and I get to spend some form of the holiday in some way with you guys. I didn't realize that was big for me because this is the first non-traditional year. And there's a lot of emotions over Christmas being on the island and changing all the traditions. So yes, I'm fucking blessing each of you for being with me on Christmas decorating day. Thank you. All right, Ananya. Your message, Ananya, today is enough talking about it, enough imagining it, enough, thinking about it. It's time to take that in which you know that you have been kind of formulating, thinking about, speaking about, and make it form. It's time for you to actually create and do the things that you've been saying you were going to do. This is like spirits, like this is like spirits telling me they feel like they've been giving you messages along this lines for a while, and they're like, this is your next message. It's time to create and make into form that which you have been already starting the process here and here. But now it's time to make it an actual reality. So Ananya, that is your message for today. All right, moving into Lisa Nichols. I love it. I love you guys. I just came off of a Q&A with David Nagel, who's a brilliant man, very wise. And he said, if you're looking to shift your business or you're looking to aspire to be like somebody, find the person who loves what they do. Like, just fucking loves it. Like, shows up fully, like, everything about how they spend their day. They're just like, they can't imagine not doing it. And as I've built my team, now I have my most mind-blowingly amazing team ever in the history of the land. And I can actually say I get to show up. But this particular experience, tea and tarot, has been the greatest joy. I fucking love spending this hour with you guys, tuning, tapping in, getting to connect to spirit, feeling just the messages flow through. It's so yummy. All right, Lisa Nichols. So you got lesson as well. They're yelling at me, so I'm just gonna say, stop believing that you're broken. Stop believing that you're broken. They're yelling straight up. Again, this is what this kind of card represents to me. I know I talked about, and you guys can hashtag or put up the Kitsumi kits where they fix with gold to show even more beauty. But the Lisa, the message that they just keep, it's time to throw out that story. It's time to throw out that story. And like, they're just like, nope, it's easy. Don't make this hard. Don't make this whatever. You're not broken. Nope. Don't let the brain say another. Nope. Like, just toss it. Every time it comes in, toss it. Next. And so that is your message for today. All right. Tracy Quintana. I scroll down, I scroll up, I scroll down, I scroll up. It's a fun little game. These are a pretty cool deck of cards. I found the woman who made this deck of cards on Instagram. I bought her yearly and weekly journals because they just are really pretty, like the cards, and very cosmic and very moon oriented. So they have all the seasons of the moon. So if you look up the name of the card deck and the name of the woman that I posted in the chat, if you're looking for where I got this deck, because I feel like somebody was thinking about it, she's a really beautiful human to follow. Her stories are very, very, very divine as well. All right. So Tracy Quintana, the card that I got was rest for you. And the message that they are giving me is not like you need the physical rest of sleeping or sitting on your bum or, you know what I mean, like resting the physical body. The message that they told me is that the rest that they're asking for you to experience is the rest of your mind. Give your mind a break. Like, stop analyzing, stop overthinking, stop the mind from going all the time. And just allow your brain a break. That's the rest spirit is asking you to have. And that means, yeah, like again, I'm like, it's like, it doesn't have to, there's no how. I went to my pelvic massage and she was like, okay, she's like, this is your homework. And I'm going to give you the same homework, Tracy. Because I didn't like it, so I have to pass it to you. So you don't like it as well. I'm just kidding. But her homework was, I want you to not do anything about this pelvic massage. I'm like, pardon? She's like, I don't want you to go home. I don't want you to journal it. I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to analyze it. I don't want you to process it. I don't want you to do anything. And I was like, that's really hard for me. And she's like, I know. And then her next thing is the actual thing that I want to give to you. She said, every 2 hours for 5 minutes, I want you to think about nothing. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. She's like, you don't have to. But every 2 hours for 5 minutes, just pause and just stare off into space. Tracy, that's the level of rest that your brain is asking for. And the unknowing of the how or what that looks like is part of the unraveling. It's just choosing to do it, just choosing to be willing to take the mind break, to stare at lavender for me out the window or the trees or the birds and just give your mind a break. That's your message for today. And coming up to Chris Bedrick. Hello, hello, hello. Chris, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you something here. I have a huge crush on your hair. Like a huge crush on your hair. Chris, like, The Little Mermaid was my favorite movie of all time. And to me, your hair reminds me of Ariel's hair. Just a little side note story about your hair that I've secretly been crushing on. And now it's not a secret. But I think you have beautiful hair. And your card is powerful. Speak up. Use your voice to express yourself. I'm just going to repeat that and hold the cord over here. Chris Bradrick, your card is to speak up. Use your voice to express yourself. I don't think I need to explain this card to you. And so that's why you're getting the deep, penetrating stare from me. Your voice is meant to be heard. It's time to use it. That is your card for today. Celine. Well, that makes sense, Chris, that it's your husband's crush too. All right, Celine. Thank you, Crystal. I feel cute today. This is my cute hair and my cute. Ooh, there's two cards here, Celine. One kind of like bent, but one threw itself out. So I'm going to ask a question for you, Celine, and I'm going to wait till this is the question you're meant to hear, or the answer you're meant to hear. This is the question, the answer you need to hear. So if you could just write meant or need, and I will pull one of those two cards, meant or need. That's a big question because I'm like, oh, I can't make this decision on my own. So Celine, if you're still here, meant or need. And then if anybody else wants to tune in and be like, ooh, meant, I think it's this one or that one, This is a little interactive. Which card for Celine? Meant or need? Meant or need? I just need somebody to write the answer. And that's the one we're going to do. They're very hot. They're very warm. They're both speaking to me. No. I know, Celine. This is a big one. I'm having a hard time. That's why I was like, phone a friend. Oh, all right. Need it is. So. All right. You got rest. That's what you needed to hear. And the message that I'm getting that is a need to hear is that you can stay above the integration and the processing of your own self in the service of others. And the message that's coming through is the rest is you choosing to go and through the series of processes and integrations for yourself. There is a message here that it's important for you to do this, that it's time. Like, it's like there's like things that bubble inside here and they just stay in here and they kind of like do their thing. And you continue to be here doing what you're really good at and amazing at for others. But you need to hear that you have to do this for yourself. That was the message. Now I know something you don't know. That was just kind of mean. But I believe that I shuffled the cards. The need was right because you can't get to what you were meant to hear unless you do what you were need anyway. But I feel kind of sneaky having to. Oh my God! Okay, I'm going to tell you the card because literally it just popped out of the deck and I can't. So good job, Celine, in making that happen. It flew out of the deck, so I'm just going to let you know. The meant is the dream, right? It's the building castles of the sky. It is your capacity to next level, to grow something into an empire, to make something bigger than you even thought possible, to experience your current like reality in a way that is just like really big, and it's there and you know it's there. But the need was that in order for you to be able to hold it, and in here is that the integration and the processing of you was the imperative part. So I had no choice but to give you that card anyway. It just came out. All right. Hello, everybody. So I am now going into Emily Phillips, Lorraine, Lauren Lay, Jay Honey, Susie Riddler. Those are the people that I have that have asked for a reading in the next queue line. Emily, this card is yours. It's interesting because you guys speak up, use your voice as well, Emily. And it's interesting because when I'm tapping into your energy, I keep hearing things like, I wish I'd said that, or I wish I'd, like, I think that there's a level of you stepping really fully forward in the fullest of expressions. I think that this has to do with your spiritual gift, if I'm being really honest, Emily. I think you see, feel, sense, and know other people's stuff, and you're not saying it out into the world. You're not sharing the visions that you're getting. You're not using your intuition and, like, really, like, and this is the next level for you, is to speak up and be like, hey, I'm getting a message for you, or a reading about you, or something about you. Can I share it with you? And this is like, that's your message, is to like, this is the embodiment of the next leveling for you, is to speak what I can hear is happening in here when you like are getting the messages, or you're getting the down, like whatever's coming through for you to actually say. So I can feel it all up here. And woo, I just got dizzy. And now it's time to speak it up and out. That is your card for today, Lorraine. Lorraine. I need a sip of tea. The nice thing about being on such a bland wall is anytime you see such a pop of color, it's super poppy. This was a gift from my coach Josie Johnson, but the artist is Sacred Clay on Instagram. I'm just going to talk about how I'm a fucking Instagram stalker, and I love Sacred Clay. I want to order a cup for Jeff, which has aliens, and because he loves aliens. But a brilliant account to follow. And I was thinking on Instagram I might do like all my favorite things day, like I don't know what day of the week, where I'm just like, okay, follow these people, this is amazing, da 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 da. Because I have super crushes on so many artists and creative folks that I just want to share them into the world. All right, Lorraine. You've got some clenching teeth going on right now, Lorraine. So as soon as I went to say the card to you, it was like, you don't say it. And I'm like, I'm going to say it. First of all, the snake is a very powerful ancestral image as well, but you got a new beginning. Have courage to open a new door. And I feel, if I'm being honest, Lorraine, I feel a little paralyzed in your energy. It's like, I don't want to take the step, or I don't want to make the decision. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to. It's like the deer frozen in the headlights kind of thing. Literally, I'm frozen. So that's what this vision is. And so Spirit just wants you to know this. Full up, full stop. Whatever step you're about to take is the right step. You cannot make the step wrong. You cannot do a misstep. You know what I mean? Like the Spirit's guidance is just to begin movement in some way. I have a saying, which is clarity comes with movement. We never know where we're going, but we'll never get there unless we take the first step. And of course, the road's going to change. Of course, it's going to have twists and turns. And of course, we might get a detour. All of these things are going to happen. But the first step is the most important step. Like that step, it changes everything. And for your energy right now, all I want is a step. The movement is so important here, to just start energy flowing again in some form or some way. And so to be brave and just take this step. And already I can feel a little bit more movement. You're a little tight still a little bit, but know that Spirit's right there, standing right beside you when you take the step. Like no step is taken alone. Not for you, not for me, not for any of us on this call. Spirit steps beside us every single freaking step. Never alone. Not for 1 second. And breathe. Because that's a very cool thing. All right. We are moving into Lauren Lay, Johnny, Susie Riddler. Love it. Shannon Clover Sussex. I like full names. Ooh, Lauren Lay, your card just popped out. It's interesting. Lauren, I'm just going right into it because I think you had this card before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels very much like Spirit reiterating something for you to know, that you're held in the cosmic womb, that they have a greater message for you, that knowing that you're safe, that, sometimes it doesn't feel safe in the humanness of the experience. I think that the greatest spiritual journey we are on is the wanting to be on earth, the choosing to be on earth, and not thinking we should be back in the stars or away or like wherever it is that we feel more ourselves. And maybe we fit in more in the cosmos or in wherever. But your message, Lauren, is to choose your physical being, your body, this lifetime, this experience, because you are cosmically held in the cosmic womb. And so that just feels like a really powerful message again, for you to hear. And that is your card for today. All right. We are moving into J, honey. It's December 1st. December's a big month, honey, I feel like for you. It's like a, what is it? It feels like freedom is the word, Jen. Like December feels like the beginning of true freedom. Like just freedom. Nothing tethering, nothing holding down, nothing, just having the mobility. All right. It's interesting because you got the lesson card, and I think this is all tying into what I was just saying. I think I could feel the card before I did the pull. So the next piece of freedom, you know what I'm going to say here, I feel like, is again, I'm reiterating what I said, is to fully release the story of being broken. I'm not broken. There's no broken. Broken doesn't even exist. So what they're telling me to tell you, if I'm being, like they're showing me an image, is take something that ties you to that story and plant it in the house, in the yard or something, as if, like, you know what I mean? That version of existence stays behind and it doesn't move forward with you. And that is the message for you today. All right. Susie Riddler. There is time. I have Susie Riddler. I have Shannon. I have Jude Walsh. So those are the people that I have in the thread right now for readings. I also wanted to share this really powerful story that before I did Rebel Unicorns Live, I got the message that people who have done Chakra Business Academy, and I'm telling this story for two purposes, because it may be something that you need to hear, but truly believing and understanding the gift that you have. So I got a download prior to me doing Rebel Unicorns Live that said, you're meant to offer the CBA to people who have previously done CBA before. Like this is an opportunity for them to go through it in a deeper level. And I thought, okay, so I said it at Rebel Unicorns, and I thought, oh, nobody connected with that. But I was like, but Spirit told me specifically to mention that. And lo and behold, last night or yesterday, did somebody that I worked in CBA not message me and say, hey, just out of curiosity, has anyone ever gone through Chakra Business Academy for a second time? And I said, interesting that you asked me that question, because Spirit told me to open it up for a second time for people. And I was wondering why that happened. And in turn, this person ended up joining. But I'm sharing this because I want you guys to understand that the messages that you're receiving, no matter how strange or off, like who or what you normally do, these are the keys. These are the ways that you open up your business, your life, your capacity, your manifestation for more, even more fully. And I feel like this may be for you, Susie, in some way, that I'm telling you this. And just also, if you've done CBA before, like this is a huge deal. So I want to honor that you guys hear the messages that you're receiving from Spirit, and first and foremost, understand that those are it. That's it. Like above and beyond anything, when we take action on our spiritual downloads, that's when most things shift or change. My business has been built on that, y'all. And I have a very successful business. And it's because Spirit tells me to do stuff, and I'm like, no matter how, if it doesn't make sense or whatever it is, I'm like, all right, okay, you say so, right? And so it's an invitation. It's an invitation to hear a story that you're like, oh, that's strange, but I didn't know where it was heading. But then when I get a message like that, I'm like, oh, that's why you told me to say that. That's why this is the conversation we're having. All right, Susie Riddler. You got a new beginning. Have courage to open a new door. And they're a little annoyed with you, Susie, if I'm going to be straight up. They're like, come on, just do it. Just do it. I feel like they've been like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. I don't know what they're telling me to tell you to do, but I feel like you know what they're telling you to do. Like, I feel like they've been trying to get a hold of you, and maybe this is why I told the story about how when Spirit's trying to give you a message, that's the one that you take action on no matter what. Yeah, well, their message for you is, okay, just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay? We're clear? That's their message for you. Can't get anything else. That's all they're saying. So, that's for you. It's like when I do these readings, I trust that every story is meant for whomever, or I've said that to you guys before. When I'm doing tea and tarot, it's full surrender. Tamara, the human, kind of has to step out and just allow whatever needs to happen and trust fully that I can't do anything wrong. I can't say anything wrong. I can't guide wrong. I can't lead wrong. I can't mess this up. And so that's my full faith in the experience. All right, Shannon. Ooh, 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 ooh. I gotta look a little deeper here. I just also want you guys to know that a car horn went off in a very residential neighborhood while I was telling that piece, which is spirit confirmation about what we were just talking about. Like, yes, listen to me. I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm guiding you guys. Spirit's got the bird's eye view, looking down, saying, I got you. You don't need to know where you're going. You don't need to know the how. I got you. I can see everything. I see all the moving parts. Let me guide. Let me support. Let me help. All right. This is like one of the bigger cards. Shannon, this card is for you. So your message, Shannon, it's kind of tied to two things. You're also clenching your teeth. You're holding back what you really want to be saying. And the message that I'm getting is that your voice is actually like the sword of truth. Like, what you're actually holding back from saying is significant. It's very powerful. This is the fire that is meant to assist others burn through what isn't serving them. So there's a freedom, like the invitation here, which is transformation, rebirth, renewal. For me, is like your throat chakra is the catalyst to support others in this experience, Shannon. And I don't know how, and like I don't know that much about you, but I know that the message here is that you've like to really release the need to hold back what you really want to be saying, and trust, like I just said, that what you're saying is of the highest good for all, and to release the fire. Release the fire, support others in their transformation and rebirth. One of the things that's really impactful to know is that we often create contrast with other people for their growth and expansion. Like, we can't do this alone. If we spend our time alone, we never can actually grow into the next version of ourselves, because we don't have any of the outside experiences to let us know how much we've actually worked through our material. Like, we don't know until somebody says or does something, or we're around people and it's like, oh, this feels all sorts of things in me. That's where we get the information. So oftentimes, you know, when we say something or we get agitated or we get annoyed and maybe we snap at somebody, it's not wrong what you've just done. Like, the shaming is part of the problem. And there's a release of trust in knowing that, whew, I didn't mean to do that. Sure, if apologies are needed, but trust fully that whatever you've said can be a catalytic change, or just the thing that somebody needed to hear in order for them to realize or have the material to expand or grow as well. And I'm saying this from a recovering, non-confrontational person, right? So I would do everything in my power not to create confrontation ever. Like, I would become a doormat, if you will. I would let people take advantage of me, all because I just felt I was a better peace giver and better at just, like, you know, why rock the boat and those things. And this understanding about contrast and the importance that it offers others has been a catalytic shift for me in not speaking what I desire or want or the truth of what's happening with anyone. So that's kind of like a long version of the message, Shannon, for you. That was a deep one. All right, Jude Walsh. It was a big full moon. That was a really, like, I call it the no bullshit moon, and I've been saying it for the last 3 days. Ain't no bullshit about that moon. That moon was like, we do not have time for this. We do not have time for you to be telling the stories about the relationships and your lack of communication, which is also, I think, why this level of conversation is happening now. Is about the voices. There's voices come up a lot. Whew. All right. Oh, Jude Walsh. Fancy that this is your card as well. And I'm always in awe of the fact that in a card deck with as many cards as we have, we tend to get the same ones over and over again because as a collective, we have the same vibrational frequency. Jude, you got a new beginning. And right away, my third eye at my crown. God's asking you to trust that he's got a plan for you. I feel like when I tap in and tune into your energy, Jude, that it feels a little lonely. Like it feels like I'm a little bit away from God, or God isn't as present for me as he may have been in the past. Spirit, creator, however you want to call this. And like it's almost like I can feel spirit kind of like just standing and gently ushering you back into this full trust experience of being held, and you know that the path is, you have been on this path for a long time, and like there's just such a beautiful thing that God's trying to, like, it's so loving what I'm feeling right now, Jude, and it is so loving is the only word I can use, because there's not a higher vibrational frequency than love. Beyond emotional love, vibrational love is the highest level of hurts, emotions that we can experience, right? Before enlightenment, which is the ultimate in love, right? And so, like, when I'm tapping into this card and God's like, I've got this path, like, set out for you. Let me be here with you. That's the sensation, or that's the feeling that I'm getting for you, Jude, is just to come and be in the partnership and be in the guidance of it all. All right. Oh, very cool. Lauren, I'm not sure if it was a familiar card, but it felt familiar, or maybe you've just heard that before. Well, magical humans, this has been a very powerful beginning to December 1st. Again, remembering that the sweet foundation of December is in the seeking of gratitude in all things. Even when it doesn't feel like there should be gratitude for something, like I was talking about COVID, if you weren't at the beginning of the call, seeking gratitude in all things. And Holly, you can sneak in as the last card. But that is the deeper in creation, in our capacity to make manifest, to go from spirit to image to form. Gratitude is really what shifts at the level of imagery, right? Because we create from the images that we send out into the world, which then translates to the words that we speak. And when you're seeing through the lens of gratitude, what a powerful catalytic partnership of co-creation that is. You know, when other people are like, this fucking sucks, and you're like, well, I actually think it's kind of great. It's like releasing traumas for gifts in some form or some way. Holly Anderson. Interestingly enough, Holly, I feel like you're transitioning into, so you got the sun, conscious mind, masculine life force. You're like there's like an energy shift that's occurring. My feet won't stop tingling. So you're very connected to the divine feminine, but I feel like there's more inspired action. Like you're moving into a phase of action in your life, of creation, of manifestation, but like there will be more action. So there will be more doing. And doing doesn't mean anything negative. We can do things from a place of, you know, feeling like we have to, and we can do things from a place of feeling like we are gifted to. So the level here is that, Holly, I feel like you're moving into a season of action, a season of doing, and that Spirit's there to make it easy. That is your message. All right, on that note, y'all, what a blessed joy it's been to share Christmas decorating day with you. It means a lot that we got to do this today, and I love you. And I will see you. I'll do Tea with Tamara on Thursday, where I'm going to be dropping a bomb. So, talk to you then.